Hey guys, JP here. Welcome to another episode of Starting 101. This is episode number 24. And today we are talking about how to be more productive by resisting random activity and random action. So this one is going to be short. I haven't been on here in a couple of days, longer than my usual cycle. And the reason is because I've actually been really tied up on trying to do the stuff on the getting the initial coding class rolled up and everything, and I'll have an update for that for you guys in a few days. But I think one of the things that I was getting caught up with was essentially the trap that happens when you get caught up in activity. So like let's say you have something that you want to do. You want to start your business, or you want to get your website going, or you want to build an app, or whatever it is. And so you immediately, like, while that excitement and enthusiasm is still in you, you just decide, like, you know what, I'm going to get started. I'm going to jump on this. I'm going to start taking action quickly. And so you start taking that action and you start doing stuff. And one of the things, though, is that, you know, it's something that I think a lot of us know already. Like intuitively, we know it. And I think mentally, like intellectually, we understand it, but it doesn't really like emotionally sink in that it's a trap. Essentially, like if you're not, sure of your destination and the specific outcome that you're going after, then it becomes really difficult to make sure that the actions that you're taking are leading you in that step. I think I've heard an expression that says, you could be as determined as you want, and you could be as relentless as you want, and you might never give up, and you could run as fast as you want. But if you're running east looking for a sunset, you'll never really get there. So it's kind of like you got to know, like, it's not enough to like just like be determined and know the action that you got to take, like taking the steps and walking, but you got to know what's the direction you're going towards, what outcome, so that at least you can see if that outcome is giving you the result that you want, so that you can course correct and get to the direction that you're going. So one of the, and there's not enough, like I think a lot of people, this is my big gripe with I don't know, productivity, any kind of advice in general. When people tell you what to do, it's like, avoid random action or focus on outcomes. Question is how, right? So um I figured, today's episode, I'm just gonna come in, I'm gonna cover the how, kind of give you like the backstory of what got me thinking about this, and then jump off, and that's it. So the backstory of what got me thinking about this was that, like I've been really, really busy the last couple of, yeah, the last couple of weeks. Is like I've felt really busy, and I started to let go of the idea, essentially, like the idea of me having to be doing stuff all the time. So I'm like almost like pumping the brakes a little bit and saying, what do I want? What actions are going to take me towards result? And it's okay if I'm not working on this stuff like all the time, because obviously, like that's the goal, take time, play with the kids, so on. So in thinking about that, what I realized was that I think I allowed too many things to end up on my plate. But the funny thing is that some of those things that I was doing that was on my plate was trying to achieve the same outcome, the exact same outcome. So it's like, um, you know, it's if you know, like all the stuff that I have going right now, it's kind of like I have, like, let's say my blog and my Instagram and my podcast are kind of like trying to achieve somewhat the same thing. Not exactly, but if you take it to like the end goal and the end outcome, they're trying to achieve the same outcome. So looking at that, it led me to kind of like look at it and say, okay, what are some of these things that are leading towards the same outcome? And which ones that if I actually focused on them could give me that outcome without me having to worry about the other pieces? And then hopefully, if it doubles down on something, like which ones would allow me to kind of like get double the effort, maybe repurpose it easier and so on. So as an example, like me, this live stream goes here to YouTube, but it also simultaneously gets streamed to Facebook. And because I'm doing it live, it also means that I'm eliminating the need for editing time. But I have access to the videos and I can download it and edit it if I need to and chop it up. So as an example, like I think there was a couple of days ago, I was explaining how I was going to structure the coding course that I was using as an my first test, and I was able to download the video, cut just that part of it that I was explaining what I was going to be doing, and I ended up using it on the sales page of the coding course itself. So that's kind of like being able to like repurpose things and do the things that give you the most leverage. You know, I could rip the audio from this and, put it into a podcast if I wanted to, but I'm not even focused on that. I'm like literally I come online, I do this, and I'm done. And so um but I think that one of the things that I was struggling with was, in order to get some content going for the coding stuff, I'm going to need to go live there. And I was debating, am I going to count those or I'm not going to count those? Because I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going live a lot more, but it's not on starting. So I decided not to count those. But anyway, to today's topic of, how to be more productive by avoiding random action. So there's kind of like a 4 step, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps to doing that. So, and it's really in how you stack the things up. So, most people, when they have an idea and they want to do something, they start with, okay, cool, like let's do something about it. Let's act, let's take some steps. And that's great, but it's usually not the best place to start. So, it's almost like when you do get that idea, it's good to do something to do the other things that you're going to need. And the things that really is you're going to have to come up with your outcome and like really get clear on what it